Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast.
Your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
Let's talk about it. I gotta admit, mother and daughter are always greater when they're together. Everything's better. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo.
Start your very own 501c3 tax-exempt fundable organization today. I've got a few questions for you. Have you ever wondered why over 91 U.S. major companies pay zero in taxes? We're talking about major companies such as Amazon, Duke Energy, Eli Lilly, FedEx, Delta Airlines, MGM Resorts, and even Starbucks. Are you ready to start your very own freedom plan and write your own paycheck and create a legacy that outlives you? Do you want to make a big impact in the world and be paid for what makes you wake up excited to do daily? Well, don't hate the players. Just learn the rules to the game and become a master at creating your own legacy. Rule number 1. Start your very own 501c3 tax-exempt fundable organization today. Contact Ms. Dawn when you're ready and learn how to do this and learn about local, national, and federal grants to support your ideas. Guess what? You'll also receive $500 off of your fee by mentioning this ad. My name is Ms. Dawn. I live in Katy, Texas, and I've been a business development consultant since 1998. Give me a call so I can help you.
Have you been looking for the right bags and accessories to go with your perfect summer or fall outfits like me? Visit the Brigati Collections website. You won't be disappointed. The Brigati Collection not only carries vegan leather, but they also carry 100% genuine leather as well. All leather goods to include vegan are limited edition, meaning limited quantity of styles and colors to produce, which are about less than 50, so it will be first come, first serve. The website is www.burgatticollection.com. That's B as in boy, ORGOTTI collection.com. There are over 75 products to choose from, so go ahead and head on over to their website and please make sure you take advantage of your chance to sign up and win a gift. I personally came across a few sunglasses and crossbodies I'm going to have to cop soon, so I hope you do the same and notice that there's free shipping always. And we didn't forget about you fellas either now. Make sure you check out their unisex aviators and bags as well.
Well, today we are going to have an awesome conversation on relationships. And I'm talking about personal relationships because I'm not sure. But think about it. Have you ever asked your mother for relationship advice, or did your mother already give you relationship advice, or did you just pay attention to what you were being taught? I know for me, I was very observant. So my mother didn't have to sit down and talk to me about anything because I paid very close attention. And I just figured if I didn't see her doing it, then I wasn't doing it. If I didn't see her running around with men, I wasn't running around with men. And I kept that through the way I raised you guys. So, man, you ready to talk about relationships, or are you scared?
Nah, I ain't never scared.
I said that because I have no idea what you're going to say. But my theme in my mind when it comes to relationships, personal relationships, is to hide yourself. I'll tell you what I mean by that later, but there's a practice that I've been doing forever and ever and ever, and I can't tell you who taught me that. All I can tell you is the women that were in my life as a kid. Obviously, I watched them. I know not only was there my mother, but then there was also my godmother, Miss Hubbard, who definitely taught me about, you know, really protecting yourself and respecting yourself, and not just doing any old thing with yourself, not letting everybody know you biblically, you know, all of those type of things. So it was never a conversation on intention, but it just kind of happened. And then also, because I'm very observant, and I always have been, I know your sister always tells me when we're in public, she say, you just stare at people. I said, because when you look at people and you stare at them, not in their face where they can see you, but you just pay attention to like their cadence and stuff, then you really get to see what type of people you're kind of dealing with. So for me, I like watching people because it kind of tells me what about their mannerism and things like that. So
yeah, people watching is kind of fun though.
People watching, let me tell you something, people watching is so much fun. Remember when we used to go to Black Friday just to watch
Yes.
people. We would see fights. We would see kids cussing out their parents. We would see husband and wives fighting. We would see folks fighting over stuff at the Walmart.
Target.
We would go to the mall. Yeah, remember that one time we went to on Black Friday. We left right at midnight and we stayed out till like 4:00 in the morning, and then the next day we slept until the evening because we had been out. And I think if we had been into like video or anything like that, it would have been the funniest thing in the world. So to the listeners and those of you that are looking at us on YouTube, just grab your mom and ask her something that could give you advice about relationship, but maybe you could even have a conversation with her about what you felt. Now, this is what you felt like she taught you about relationships. So, what you think about relationships nowadays with, I would say your age group is so different than what my age group is. So,
I saw on Twitter they said the dating pool got pee in it. I definitely agree.
Oh man, that makes me sad because I only think about my two daughters, but I'm thinking about everybody else's daughter. I have not heard them say that, but you know what? It's probably true. Yeah. Which is really, really sad. I remember one time I was talking to your brother about something, and I saw something on Twitter or something. It said POV. He said, "What you know about POV?" And I said, "I don't even, what point of view?" He said, "What are you trying to say?" I said, "They said there's this dating." He said, "I know you're not talking about Plenty of Fish."
POF, girl.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know.
Yeah.
He said, "I know you're not talking about Plenty of Fish." He started telling me about the app and everything. So I'm going to get you to talk about that because not now, but I got to know what in the world is happening in your age range. You're 27. So I know a lot of 27-year-olds that are on these dating apps. I've always been afraid of anything like that simply because pretty much if I don't choose you, or if I don't catch you at the gas station, or you don't catch me at the gas station, or we don't meet through a mutual friend or out to eat or in some kind of mature environment, we probably not going to know each other.
Right.
Simply not just because of the age that I am, but just simply because I hate to say this, and that's why when we talk about these dating apps, we're not going to name them. We're just going to give an example of them and experiences. But I feel like the murderer is on the dating app. I feel like the killer is on the dating app and just waiting for my little dumb self to sign up thinking I'm about to find the love of my life. So for me, that's it. Now, if it was a dating, what they call them, dating consulting company or something that matched like people with people, matchmaker. Like I used to love to watch Patty Stanger. I used to love to watch her matchmaking show, but if it was a matchmaking service like that, I probably wouldn't do it, but it would be an option. But these dating apps are absolutely not an option. I mean, I have no idea where this conversation is going to go. So I'm just going to perk up and pay attention to what's going on. I think, just being able to listen to what you have to say and looking at, all these different things that's happening in the world of that. I mean, how did you first even get bold enough to get on any app? Before we even go there, I'm just curious, like what happened in regular relationships where you could like go get a bag of chips and meet somebody at the corner store or something, but what made you say, let me try this app? And by the way, how long ago was it when you got on an app?
This was just literally a year ago when I became single and knew it was gonna be for good. I started on Facebook dating, and it was funny because the first person that liked me was one of my best friend's cousin that already knows me, like that I've already seen.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I've already seen at family functions and stuff. But I mean, you want to, when you're newly single, you want to try new stuff and see what it's hitting for. But dating pool definitely got pee in it. It's a no for me.
It's a no for you. Wow. Well, like I said, I don't know where this conversation is going to go, but I think it's a good way to just kind of look at how opposite we are, which great, opposites, you should be able to be opposite and still have the same type of, I guess the word I want to say is have the same morals and values and things. You can do it in different kind of ways, but also I'm excited to see what the topic is going to be. I'm actually nervous, so I did say a little prayer for my blood pressure levels because I just have no idea. I love hearing different people on YouTube and different places talking about relationships and dating, and I have to say that I've seen people talk about different couples that start these couples channels, but then when they break up, it's like it's so heartbreaking because I know that they were putting those channels together, one, to express their love, two,
Right.
they get a lot of attention, they earn money off of it. You can literally make a living talking about your relationship and things like that in the public view, because sometimes people do want a bird's eye view into your life, but it's kind of sad when they then break up, and it's like, I'm thinking about, man, not only are they losing a relationship that they decided to build on trust and decided that this was good enough for them to put it out in the public, but now they're losing a whole empire, they're losing a whole legacy of money, and when kids are involved, that's even bad. I think about that one guy that does all that talk about women dating certain men, and then he got busted for doing exactly what he probably was telling women, don't deal with those type of guys. And so for me, I don't watch those couple shows. I just can't, because it seems to me that it's contrived and it's kind of fake. So I don't really want to know anyway what those people are pretty much doing.
And they don't be practicing what they preaching.
No, and that to me is disappointing, and I don't really live with disappointment, so I don't want to be with that. But I've gotten to an age where I've made a couple of other decisions, but do you prefer to be chose, or do you prefer to choose?
I actually like both.
What's your favorite, though? There's usually a favorite.
Right now.
And which one do you have the best luck with? So, or do you not have anything to compare?
I have the best luck with both, actually. That's why it's hard to choose.
But which one do you think you would go forward with, since you're in a different mode of how you want to date in the future? Because the dating apps, to me, says that I'm putting myself out there, and if somebody clicks on me, then that's fine. Because I know if I was on one of those dating apps where you had to go and swipe up or down, however they do it, left or right, I don't know, whatever you do to choose whoever, I wouldn't even do that. I would like to see who's on there, but I don't want to put like a star or heart where you tell them you like them, double click, I don't know, whatever, to say, hey, I'm interested in you. So
it's hard for me, because I know, like, a couple months ago I hopped in this guy's DMs, which I really don't do. But it was on Twitter, and then I said something slick, and I guess it worked. But long story short, he was like already wanting to come to where I'm from, Houston, to come visit, versus somebody trying to choose me from also another state and already trying to either fly me out or come down here as well. But it'd be the same outcome. You trying to
tell me you be getting flued out? I heard that word a few years ago from the City Girls, and I almost fell on the floor because I thought that was the funniest thing I had ever heard in my life, and I knew exactly what it meant, but I just didn't even know that vernacular was out there. So so you hopped in somebody's DM and okay, well, you were bold.
I've been flued out before, but I've also like had to pay for my ticket, and then they just handle everything else. So
yeah, I would never do that, but okay. Yeah.
I'm open,
Yeah, I know.
See either way, but I've experienced the whole flued out situation.
Okay, well, I can
cool
tell
or whatever.
you, I'm very old fashioned, so the minute you dial my number, you're responsible. And what I mean by that is that if you dial in my number, because even if I do say, hey, my name is so and so, and I just want to let you know that I see you. If I say anything, which I've only done once in my life, and that was a year and a half ago, I've only done that ever once in my life, is to let somebody know, hey, I see you, do you see me, type of thing. I've only done that once in my life, and I think that if that person is to respond or whatever, or if that person responded, it's all on them from there, because I'm very old-fashioned. I'm a traditional chick. If you're coming after me, then you need to know there's a responsibility behind that. That's another reason why I don't go after. And when I say go after, I mean like I'm probably not going to hop in your DMs. I'm probably not going to say anything. You'll see I'm available. You'll see I'm here, but I'm not going to just do that. The only reason I did that once in my life is because that person is on a whole nother state. And so without me doing that, they would never know I existed, even though I know they exist. So I just, I've decided all my entire life I've been chosen. Just like the day I met your dad. I was minding my business at Northline Mall in Houston, Texas. For y'all that don't know what Northline Mall is, that just means you're not old enough.
Or really from Houston.
Yeah. Or from Houston at all. So Northline Mall is on the north side of town, which is in the hood where I grew up in, Studi Woods. I have to rep my north side. But if you're from Houston, you know exactly what I mean. And I was at the mall minding my business. My mom must have fell and bumped her head. She let us go to the mall, child, because we couldn't go nowhere. But she let us go to the mall, and I was at the mall, and I was minding my own business walking, and your dad was on the other side of the mall, and he was staring so hard that the electricity hit me, and I looked over, and it was as if I said, oh yeah, he the one. And I kept on walking, because back then the game was, you don't never let a man know you're interested in him. No. And when a man come to talk to you, you shut up. You don't say anything. You let him do all the talking to basically show him that he's in control, something like that, which I have no problem with. I love relationship dynamics. For me, I like the role playing. I like you know your role, I know my role. The gender roles are completely clear cut in anything that I'm going to be in. So this day moving forward, though, I have decided that anyone that I am going to be with, I am going to choose them. And when I say choose them, I just simply mean let them know that I am available. But anybody who's coming up to me trying to talk to me, I'm not interested. That's just the way I am. Like, I was in Walgreens a few weeks ago, and this guy was staring. He was, talking. And then I just looked up at him and said, is there something I can do for you, sir? That basically was me. That basically was me saying I'm not interested, but I said it nicely, because I don't really care for the staring, and you either going to say something or you're not going to say anything, and I'm too old to be playing those little games about who like who and all that stuff. So
they say, I see you peeking, but you ain't speaking.
Right. But I mean, when somebody's standing right next to you, look like they sniffing you, and and they looking at you, and they just wondering, and they trying to see if you got a ring on and all this. Like, I don't really have time for that either. But also, if I don't get a vibe like you ain't husband, I'm not interested anyway. Because one thing I don't do is I don't date for sport. I never have. It is not going to happen. Right. That's just the way I am. But I would like for you to elaborate on this 20s dating scene. I have to tell you, one, I'm so happy I'm not in my 20s. But I also have to tell you that I'm so happy that I'm not in need of a date or in need of anything, really.
Right.
I have a desire that I possibly want to get married again, but I am not interested in having to go to a club to get one or having to seek out one like that. No, I just, what is this 20s dating scene looking like?
Like I said, it's been about a little over a year, and it's trash. It's very upsetting. Trash? It's very upsetting. Like,
because see, I took myself out of the dating pool a long time ago, and when I say I removed myself from it, it means that when guys or men call me and ask me to go to dinner, I'm just not that hungry.
But it's almost like guys can't even get past the level one of like having a consistent, nice conversation. It's like, because if you can't even do that, I'm not even going to want to come see you or like meet up with you or anything. But my friend and I, we talk every day about how we just meet these different guys on dating apps sometimes here and there. And I'm just like, it's so sad, because I'll be like, oh, another one failed. But it don't be necessarily on our ends. It just be, they say some corny stuff. They just don't have any personality. They don't know how to keep a conversation.
And is this around your age, 27 and older, or is this younger guys? Like
my 25? Dating range, like on the apps, if I am, I'm not really on there a lot, but if I am just casually on there, I do 27 to 35.
Okay, so do you think those apps are really designed, and I'm not talking about the app itself or the companies themselves, I'm talking about the way they function on your end, the user's end. You think it's more serious or more casual or more hookup?
So like POV.
Don't say the names.
Yeah, so the other one, there's two of them that like are well known for being like hookup apps, but there's some people that are on there that just genuinely want to find dates, but there's a lot of well-known apps that are more catered to people genuinely trying to find stuff out there.
Like
but
a serious relationship.
It's easy to catfish on anything, but that's how, I personally want you to send me a video or a voice note of you saying my name or something.
You probably watched that show Catfish too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
And see, I never knew about it until I think you told me about it, and then I said, I just can't watch it, because that's what scares me about these apps. Like I said, I took myself out of the dating game in 2011, and I just have not put myself back in the game. I've been that's what I mean when I say I've been hiding myself, is I haven't been looking, I haven't been showing interest, I haven't been taking casual dates. I just don't date for sport. And like I say, if somebody called me and they want to take me to dinner, I don't go, because if I don't feel, first of all, like your husband, I'm not going to have dinner with you. I'm not going to, and this is the word that I hate to hear people say. And when I say hate, I mean it strongly. I am almost a 50-year-old woman. Don't ask me to come kick it.
That's how I am at 27. Like,
Kick
don't
it?
ask me to add
I don't
your
even like sports, so when I hear you say kick it, I think football, and that makes me angry because I don't like any kind of sports. But how
That's
you gonna ask? Oh, we just kicking it. What is that?
That's like now, like I'm 27 and people be like, can I add you on Snapchat? Why can't we text? You're not even supposed to. That means you doing something you're supposed to be doing already. 27 years old and you're asking me to add you on Snapchat? Like, what? I have a friend.
This sounds like they should be like 15 or 17 years old. That's
I have a
crazy to know
friend.
27-year-olds are doing it. 27 years old, I already had 3 kids and one on the way. So it's like, come on now.
I had a friend. She was telling me she was talking to this guy on Snapchat for months. I'm talking about maybe up to like 6 months or so. And I was like, so you don't even know what he looks like or sounds first thing in the morning? Y'all don't talk on the phone? You don't have his phone number? And I think she was just saying along the lines that they only talk on Snapchat. And I'm like, yeah, he got a whole wife and kid at home. And lo and behold, he did have a whole wife and kids at home.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's why I put in my bio, I put we too old to be catfishing. So I let it be known that I'm definitely looking out for that type of stuff.
How many apps are you on?
Give me 1 second, let me count.
0 count for me. 0 to how many?
I'll say like 4.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say like 6 or 7.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
4 tops.
Okay, 4 tops. Okay, well, that's very interesting. But what are some of your other friends saying though that are on the apps? Are they having a good experience? I know you gave me a great success story the other day about a friend who just even moved to our town and already got somebody in our town.
Yeah.
That's a success story because
Yeah.
I mean we in our town and
I know. She came from San Diego.
Yeah.
It's been about almost a month now. Actually, it has been a month. The 23rd this month. But yeah, we had went out to eat at a restaurant out here and tried some oysters. And she told me within the first week she moved out here, she had already found this guy on one of the dating apps that I'm on as well. And he has a lot of women want to look for someone that's stable, got a nice job, and she didn't mind that he had like an 8-year-old daughter or something. But I'm like, you done found your Prince Charming, and I done been here 27 years.
They found one. So what are some deal breakers for you? Because as soon as you said he had an 8-year-old daughter, I went, oh, that's a deal breaker for me. Because we're going to talk about deal breakers in a little bit, but what's a deal breaker for you? I know for me, anybody who comes to me that would want to marry me, if they've got a child under 20, I'm not interested.
I definitely, because I mean, I know there's places in my life that I definitely want to improve.
Right.
So I can't like judge all the way, but I mean, as an adult, I would want you to want better for yourself. And if I see consistently that you're not doing better for yourself or for your kids, if you have any that I know of, that's a complete turn off. Like I had to.
So you will date someone with kids even though you don't have any?
Oh yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind the whole stepmom role because I mean, I don't mind.
I remember when y'all were young, you know how the meter readers used to come and read your meter for the water?
Yeah.
This guy came and I was taking groceries in or whatever, and he was just reading the meter, and he spoke and I spoke, and so he was trying to rap to me and everything, and I was like talking to him while he was standing out there because I was trying to get a little feel of you even worth getting the number. Now you were a kid, and he told me he had 9 children. I didn't even get to the point about how many women, because it did not matter to me.
Yeah.
I said, you have 9 children, and at that time I only had 2. So I was like, what? No, 9 children, and the only thing I was thinking of is, you're gonna invite me over and go to the corner store and leave me there with all those kids, and I'm never gonna see you for 4 hours. I'm not babysitting. No.
And what time would you even have alone with that person? Yeah,
I wouldn't even
kids,
want any time alone with a person with 9 children, because I would be so focused on, why are your kids not here and we're not spending time with them? Because that's how I was raising y'all, is I was very more focused on my kids than I was focused on anything else. Like I said, raising businesses and raising children, that takes a lot of your time. So I would be very selfish, because when you're with somebody, of course you want their attention, right?
Yeah.
Imagine dating someone with 9 children, and let's just say they have every weekend. If they're working a 9-to-5 job and you're working your business or a 9-to-5 job and you have the kids every weekend, when did y'all get time to continue to get to know each other?
I knew someone that had 2 kids, worked a 12-hour shift almost 6-7 days a week at a factory job. And I'm like, what time do we even I'm not trying to be selfish, but I at least want to see you like every other day, talk to you something. But I mean, my preference is no kids, but if you do, after 2 kids, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, yeah. And the age, I do kind of be looking at the age too. Cause
any other deal breakers? I know another one of my deal breakers is if you smoke cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
And preferably if you do any type of drugs. So if you smoke marijuana, if you do any type of hard or soft drugs or a pill taker, you're a deal breaker for me. In a man.
I think a deal breaker for me.
You could smoke a cigar because that's sexy to me. That's real sexy. But
cigarettes for sure is a no. But
Yeah.
I think another thing that I've noticed in some men too, there's a lot of alcoholics out here and they don't even know it. I knew someone that was taking shots of white and brown, mixing it 8 o'clock in the morning.
Now you know I know nothing about what you just said. So what's a white and a brown?
Clear and brown liquor,
So give me a name of a liquor.
like vodka and Hennessy.
Okay,
You're not supposed to mix that. You would get
So one
sick.
is white and one is brown.
White is clear, and then brown is
Okay,
brown.
so white
liquor.
is the vodka.
White is any kind of clear vodka. I mean, clear
Okay,
liquor.
I got you. And so you're not supposed to mix the two?
You're not supposed to mix clear and brown. You will get sick.
Really?
Most people do.
What if you drink the clear one first, wait 20 minutes, and drink the brown one? They still
It
not
depends
supposed
on
to
how
mix?
much you're mixing. Yeah, like if you
Oh.
take 3 shots of clear and then like
And is
4
a
or 5
shot
shots.
a real size shot? Like, you know, every time we travel, we buy shot glasses.
Yeah,
I buy them.
that's a
I
shot.
buy them to do like a shot of grape juice in the morning, or
girl.
so literally every shot glass I have, I do like my squeeze my lemon juice and drink a shot of that. I think I fancy when I do that. But you're saying people do? He was doing that in the morning?
Yeah, like drinking. Well, first of all, he had told me that he had blacked out the night before, and woke up was drinking white and brown in the morning. It was like 8 something. He had FaceTime me, and I'm like, "Don't you got to go to work today?" And he was like, "Yeah, at 2:30." Sir.
Would that be a deal breaker?
Oh yeah, it definitely was. And I had to tell him about himself. Like, that's not cute. And then
Yeah.
it's just, if I don't see you wanting better for yourself,
Yeah.
and let alone your kids, like, if I can see if you don't care about your own self, but you have kids, at least care about them.
Right.
But that's my thing. Like, I can't even imagine getting pregnant by somebody like that, honestly. Because then
It would be such a sad. You know, that's the thing about relationships that I think people forget, is that when you date people, you could take on their trauma, you could take on their negativity, you could take on their sadness, their depression, you can take on all of that. I absolutely believe in spirit. You know what I'm saying? So when you're around people for a length of time and you get to really, really intertwining with them and knowing them, you can take on all of that stuff. So let me see. Another deal breaker for me is terrible hygiene.
Oh,
I really need you to have your teeth brushed, and I need your breath to be fresh. And I know you said that when you went to Europe on that people-to-people trip in high school, that you didn't know that the country that you went to, we're not going to say what country, but the country that you went to, that their dental hygiene, what'd you say about it?
it's like how you see in the movies, like, you know, they drink a lot of, you know, like teas and coffees and stuff, so you would
Teeth are
imagine
brown.
the teeth either decaying or like just very stained.
And you were
but
like 16 or 17 when you saw that, and you were like
15, yeah.
Yeah. And when you saw that, you were like, oh, this is real.
Yeah, I remember hopping in a car with a friend one time, and I think he had just woke up from a nap or something and got in my car. I was like, "Yo, nap breath is."
Look, your nap breath and your morning breath is cousins.
That's 2 different things, but your nap breath is.
Oh, that right there nearby took me out. Yeah, I'm really big on hygiene. I'm not talking about your all day breath where you have been at work all day and you know you come, just don't be trying to kiss me in the mouth when you come in from work if your breath ain't fresh. But you know, I literally know people that will make sure they take care of that. If they're on the way home to their husband or they're on the way home to their wife, they'll make sure that they go in the bathroom before they leave work and freshen up their breath and stuff, because they do want to go home and kiss their husband or go home and kiss their wife before they do that. So that right there is a deal breaker for me too. And I think I have a lot of deal breakers, but my next deal breaker that I'll share is that I don't like unmotivated people. You know, like I have a natural energy about me.
Yeah.
I want somebody who has a natural energy about them, and they don't have to be as upbeat as I am, but they do have to have goals that they are completing and goals that they are working on, or they have to be at that point where they have done so many things in life that if they never do another thing, they're good. You know, that's what I'm looking for. And at my age now, I'm definitely a positive thing is that I really don't want someone who's working a 9 to 5 that's gone all the time, because I'm at that point where I want to travel. I want to go and do things. I want to, you know, I don't have young children anymore. So it's like there's nothing holding me back to the house to just sit around and do anything. Now, if you do want to just stay in the house, I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, for somebody to go out and work a 9 to 5 all day long wouldn't work for me, because I work for myself and I'm in control of my time. So I really want someone who's in control of their time. Where are you at with it?
I think as far as the motivation thing, for sure, because I have another guy friend. He was telling me that he had like a lot of tickets and stuff to pay on his car, and I mean, I can understand child support take a lot out of your payment, but if you're not even working slowly towards getting your tickets paid off so you can get your license back and get a car, like I know those are steps and people get like overwhelmed by steps they have to go through to get stuff done, but also like you kind of sound a certain way saying you'd rather pay $300-400 a month on Uber when that's a car note for most people, and you'd rather pay for hotels. Like,
oh, but you know what? Maybe he had the Uber because he was trying to get his tickets paid off because he couldn't get his license renewed because of that.
But he hasn't even put $1 towards paying it off, I'm pretty sure.
But you're paying for Uber. Okay, I see
people
what you're
get
saying.
too comfortable. Like, you know, I even have friends where they tell me they want to do something and I send them a link to get them started or ideas, and they just either push it off because they're too comfortable in what they're doing right now. But it's like, you're going to be 30, 40 something and realizing and hoping and wish that you would have went back and did that. But you can only help people so much. So.
Yeah, you can. And, you know, sometimes you can just share your story like what we're doing right now. We're just talking. We're just having a conversation. We're just, you know, elaborating on relationship experiences. And we're hoping that through this conversation that people will have the conversation with their moms and say, or moms have conversation with your daughter about what they know about relationship or what you feel like you taught them through them either watching you or you telling them. So it's really just all about getting the conversation started and keeping it going so that everything just should be really clear about you know what people like and what they don't like so that you don't annoy them. It's almost like you have to customize the way you are around people so that they know you are who you are, you know that they are who they are, but then you still have those things in common. Would you date someone that you absolutely had nothing in common with? They weren't, I'm just gonna go there, they weren't the race that you thought, but you liked them. They weren't successful at whatever level success is to you, but you liked them. They didn't do fun things. They were boring, or, you know, they didn't want you to do certain things and
been there, done that. No.
Okay, so no. You're not gonna do that again, huh?
No.
Yeah. Those are the little things that people don't pay attention to. They don't like for me, somebody was asking me a question about hair and stuff, and I said, well, there's a certain type of way that I like for someone to look that I'm with, and I don't want another kind of look. And they were like, well, that's wrong. And I said, well, you can say whatever you want to say, but I have the choice and I can prefer whatever I want.
That's what I be saying. Looks aren't everything, but I want something nice to look at.
Right. That's why I think I told you not too long ago that I didn't believe in colorism.
Right.
And the reason I don't believe in colorism is because I will never allow someone to tell me that I can't choose what I want to choose. You can't tell me what skin color I should choose because I am a skin color. You can't tell me what I should prefer because I am who I am. You're not going to tell me that. And all this cancel culture stuff because somebody says that they like a certain thing. What that song say that I like on the radio? I like red bones. So what? How does it go?
I don't know.
With the one where he says, I like red bones, yellow. Anyway.
Some Pop Smoke song.
Yeah. Girl,
I don't
you said his
remember.
name right because I was about to call him Pop Rock. But anyway, I was going to either say Pop Star or Pop Rock. And when you say, okay,
Totally
so that
wrong.
song right there, I heard some ladies having a conversation about, see, he colorist because he said he like red bones and he like yellow. And I'm just like, he can choose whatever he likes. He can choose whatever he likes. It's his preference. Yeah. Just like when someone chooses you, you're obviously their preference. So it just shouldn't be such a big deal. But I remember when I was in my, about your age, I said, I don't ever want to get married again until after I'm 50. Because by then, my kids will be grown. By then, I'll be where I want to be in business. By then, I'll want to settle down and be involved in somebody else. So just like you were saying, you got into this selfish mode where you were into you. I took my selfish mode and I did a lot of personal development. I went to, you know, of course, a million seminars, doing a lot of self-work and things like that, so that by the time I got to this age, that I knew what I wanted, what I didn't want, how to get what I wanted, ways to do this, that, and the other thing. So for me, I remember saying that when I was around about your age, and it's so funny how we should be really careful what we say, because literally nothing has sparked my interest until now. So it's like I just had to be really careful, and it wasn't until I was laying in the bed about a week or so ago, and I said, you know what? Remember that time when somebody said, will you ever get married again? And you told everybody that ever asked you that, because you were asked that 100 times, and you always would say, yeah, after 50, then I'll consider getting married again. So it's so funny how you can say things over your life, and they
For a
end up
long
happening.
time, yeah.
But again, I was in the mode of, raising kids and raising businesses. I really wasn't thinking about getting married, because one thing I do know about relationships is that you end up having to cater to other people, whether you want to admit that or not. Have you ever felt like you had to cater to somebody, almost like you were, what's that K. Michelle song I love? Can't Raise a Man. Have you ever?
Girl, don't get me started.
I love me some K. Michelle now. You know I love that song. Have you ever felt like you almost were raising somebody else's child?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, to the T.
You almost made me faint when you said that you had to teach somebody that the same towel they bath. Woo! Let me tell you something. I do believe that was the day that I should have gone to the hospital and just had them to put me on the machines.
Yeah, we ain't gonna say which ex, but
no, we would never.
Of course not. We never. We ain't
but
never
you almost
name
made me faint when you said that you had to teach this man that you do not wash your face with the same towel you bathe with.
Didn't even know
Just
they
the
needed.
thought of that. Right now, I feel my blood pressure rising just thinking about it, because I'm visualizing it. How did you discover that?
I'm actually trying to. I think it's one of those things that you just watch your partner do, and it's like, oh, let me do what she doing, because I've been doing it wrong. And now that person got a whole 10-step skincare routine going
from fooling with you, huh?
Yeah. So I was like, wow, that's why I can't wait.
Because you weren't raised like that by no wolf that would teach
no.
you. And look, raising 4 kids, you would have to share a towel or something if that were the case. But I never did that.
I ever have a dude come to my house, it ain't gonna be nothing but white towels.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I want to see. I want to see what you clean.
The visual you just gave me, I might not even be able to eat tomorrow.
All white towels like the hotel.
Yeah, because you want to make sure they're clean. But I remember one time I was listening to, what was that? Magic 102. I was listening to Tom Joyner's show, and the comedian on there, and I never know if he's serious or not, but I just know when I would be out in the morning early going to see clients or something, I would hear them telling jokes, and he said, man, when I use a white towel, it's like a murder scene. And I was like, J. Anthony Brown said that, and I almost fainted, because I was like, because when people say things, words are so important to me, because when I hear them, I visualize, and that's why I catch on to things. That's why personal development was so good for me, because I would hear things and I would catch on, and then I would say, okay, will that thing work for me, or will it not work for me, or will I try that? But when he said that when he used white towels, it's like a murder scene, I was like, I'm hoping that's a comedian thing, and that was like a joke at the comedy shop, because the visual I got on that, it wasn't cute.
It's even the worst. It's also a bad visual, like doing your significant other's laundry and you seeing like skid marks.
I say this all the time. Somebody was saying that I forgot who it is. I'm not gonna say I forgot. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say the name. But one of the girls from Housewives, I'm not even gonna say which franchise, but they were saying that he had made his girlfriend mad, and she posted his. she got mad at him, and she was capping on him, and she posted all of his underwear from the hamper. She literally got on live. She walked over to the hamper, and she was saying, I put up with this, I did this, and this is what you leave for me to wash, and you had a nerve to be cheap. And then she went and took a picture of him, and he was laying on the sofa asleep with his mouth open, and drool was coming down. And I'm like, the stuff people put up with.
That's all too familiar.
I could never.
That's all too familiar. Some guys will literally wear their drawers until all the thread come loose. They will wear it. I have never seen that. I have never experienced that. And if I had, you would have never seen me again. You've seen that? I had an ex that got some underwear at Walmart. And he was so excited to get some new ones because, I mean, like I said, you see your significant other do something, you want to do it too. Yeah, he then picked up the wrong ones. They was like tighty whities, but in different colors.
He didn't even know how to get underwear.
It was tighty whities, but in different colors.
Did I said, "Mama not teach you?"
so happy to pick up some drawers. You didn't just picked up anything. I said, now you gotta wear them. You didn't open them. Now you gotta wear them.
That came.
So you walking around the house with
Yeah.
some tiny white.
And look, thinking he fresh to death.
Now you gotta wear them.
Look, let me tell you something. That K. Michelle song was like, you can't raise a man. And it's like,
You really
I'm so
can't.
glad I've never had to raise a man. I've taught and I've learned, of course, but I've taught a lot of, things because I feel like I'm country. I feel like I'm traditional. I feel like I am just not of the world. I'm in the world, but not of the world. So I bring a different element to anything, but you telling me this underwear story, I've heard that story so many times now, and just looking at people giving different stories and things on YouTube, people talking about relationships, but I did not know you had seen something like that. Wow.
I know a lot of guys
Woo,
say
jeez.
a lot of guys say they don't know how girls with long nails know how to wipe their booty, but like guys, I don't understand how some of them just.
Do you think they were taught or no?
I don't think they were taught, and I think
Okay,
it's the
they
whole
lazy.
concept. I'm not gonna tell you how to wipe your booty, but some people, would put their finger all up in there just to make sure it's clean. But I think a lot of guys don't want to do that. Put their own
Well,
finger
then
all
just
up
take a shower after then.
or get a bidet or something.
Yeah, well, those
But,
are expensive, so I ain't gonna get that. You don't went fancy on us now. So I would say, without using names, of course, and Lord, I don't even want their name to be out there. They'd be ruined for life. But without
to the single
using
women.
name, without using name and no time frame or anything to be traced back, what 3 things do you think you've learned from relationships? Just, I would say your last 3 relationships. What would you say you've learned? I think I should go first because I have the less disgusting stories. But back in 2008, I wrote a book called How Many Frogs Do I Have to Kiss? And everybody thought that book was complaining about relationships, but actually what it was about is what you've learned in relationships, but then what you've taught. So I talked about what I learned from every relationship that I ever was in, whether they were a friend or what I should say, I guess, is a boyfriend, or they were, I was married to them or whatever. I've only been married once, but, anybody that I was dating or something. And so I can theme and sum up the number one thing that I've learned from every relationship. And what I've learned is that I don't want to be with anybody who doesn't allow me to be me. Mm-hmm. And so that's the thing that I've absolutely learned from relationships, and I've been pretty lucky to be with people. But I'll tell you, one of them, in one relationship, I learned something that I still use today. And that person said to me, everybody uses everybody. He said, when you meet somebody, there's something they want from you. And when you get to know them, there's something you want from them, whether it's money, whether it's whatever you want. Everybody wants something from somebody. There are some people who are in relationships because they just look good together, and it's all for public display and, all for the fakeness and all that. In another relationship, what I learned is never stay too long.
Yes.
When you get the first red flag, and that's when you start sliding to the side.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Mm-hmm,
Don't get too comfortable.
Yeah, don't get too comfortable, but not only that, don't tolerate, things to keep going. Because what I learned, and I'm going to cut it off here, but what I learned about when you stay too long is you teach people how to treat you. Mm-hmm. And so let's just say they cheat on you once, and then you forgive them and you take them back. Let's just say they buy you a ring or a bracelet or a necklace or something, and that's their I'm sorry gift. Jury box full.
Or get a promise ring and put it around their own neck. Who does that?
Exactly. Animals. You know somebody who did that?
Yes, I had an ex that got me a promise ring to put around their neck. I've never heard.
So what was the promise? I'm gonna wear your ring, I promise. but that's definitely something right there that I can absolutely say. Just don't stay too long, because you're teaching people how to treat you. So that's why for me, when I see the first red flag, I'm out like a scout on a new route, because I'm just not gonna stick around and wait for you to think that that's okay. But honestly, if you boil it down to the bottom, if somebody cheats on you and you take them back, you have taught them that don't worry, I'll just keep being with you. Right. You can cheat and I'm going to stay right here, because obviously I don't feel confident enough to know I have more options, or that somebody wants me, or that I'm desirable. So that's what you teach people when you allow them to cheat on you. And that goes both ways. If a woman cheats on a man, or if a man cheats on a woman. I've never been a cheating woman, so I don't know really what that's like. I mean, I'm a person who feels like I'm single until I'm married, unless we have a different agreement.
Right.
And so those agreements are between you and that person. But if we agree that we're monogamous and we're not seeing other people, and you break that agreement, I'm out.
Right.
What about you? What are your 3 things that you would say that relationships have taught you? Because I'm telling you, whether you sit back and you think about it or not, they have taught you something.
Yeah, I would say definitely speaking up more. And about the red flags, definitely leave at the first one. There's so many red flags I have noticed, like within guys just now in these days, and I definitely have left. I've definitely told them about themselves too, because you can tell when women have not told these type of men about themselves, and they get like offended, like, dang, nobody told me this, like,
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh.
Or they don't even reply because I done sent them a whole paragraph about themselves, and they're like, where this coming from?
Not the thumb thugging.
Oh, I like to write. I like to type.
You
so
know what? What you just said is so funny. We have something in common. I remember one time I was talking to this guy, and he said something. He walked me to the car, and I was getting ready to go do something. He said, "You know what your problem is?" And I said, "What?" He said, "You're so used to people catering to and yesing to you, and I'm not that type of." He said the N word. "I'm not that type of person." He said, "So I'm not gonna just say yes to you and everything you want." I said, "That's not a problem." And I hugged him goodbye. I never saw him again, because I thought to myself, "Who are you to think that you're gonna talk to me like that, to tell me what you're not gonna do, and we have never had a discussion about this?" Yeah, no.
And my third one would be definitely never get too comfortable. Because like I said,
Have you gotten comfortable?
Yeah, in my last relationship, yeah.
What about before that? Just to have a boyfriend type of thing? Because I noticed that a lot of young girls, when they're like 15 or something like that, they'll just want a boyfriend because everybody else has one.
No, I definitely was one of those girls that like tried my best to make sure, it was the right decision, because I can still count on one hand how many boyfriends I didn't have. Yeah. I think if I was doing it for a sport like that, I'd probably have, more than that. But
yeah, I'm sure. What do you think I taught you about relationships, as far as like boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever? Because there's a lot you didn't ever see, so there's not a lot you know. But what do you think I taught you about relationships that makes you handle yourself a certain kind of way, whatever that certain kind of way is?
I think most of the time, for sure, it's like on the moral side of things, like how I think about stuff. Definitely, when somebody shows you the first time who they are,
believe them.
Yeah, definitely believe them.
Yeah.
But when you're in love, you really forget all that stuff you've ever been told.
Absolutely. Well, not only that, when you're in love and you're a believer and you want to believe in people,
and a hopeless romantic.
Yes, it don't even have to be a hopeless romantic. It's just that you feel like that person will change because of the conversations you have had with them, when all along they just want to get you deeper and deeper sometimes. But
a lot of guys out here need therapy. We all do, but a lot of guys out here, I've noticed that. I've come across myself, they need therapy.
Wow. And a lot of them haven't put things in place to help themselves, huh?
Oh, no.
And that's a thing that you got to be, and that's what I say about being out on these dating apps. Man, you would have to be so ready to receive all kinds of people. I don't want to do that.
And it be men close to their 30s that I know that's like, it's like you're almost 30 and you're not even wanting better for yourself, your kids, your situation. I'm just like, yeah. And then it gets kind of scary when you want to go like older than 33.
Why is that scary?
Because there'd be a lot of creeps out there.
That just want to date young
From my
girls?
experience, yeah, it'd be some that'd be fishing for young girls because they think they're dumb and young, naive, or it'd be sugar daddies out there, or it's very hard on dating apps generally to just find exactly what you're looking for. But can
the older men lie about their age on there?
They lie about their age, their height. Oh my gosh, my friend went on a date, and I think she told me that his height said something different, and she's only 5'2", and when she wore heels that weren't even that high, she was taller than him. And a lot of women, that's a deal breaker for, like, that's what I was gonna say. That's a deal breaker for me.
The height.
I'm 5'6", but if I can't wear my little 2.5-inch Target heels around you, I can't even wear my 5'6" inch.
So you're 5'6", right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if they're 5'2", that's not cute.
Because
I'm only 5'4", but I like to date 6'8" and up. That's just what I'm used to now. I'm not saying that's all I'll date. I'm just saying I'm used to tall men. My father was 7'1", so there's just no reason that I wouldn't, be around, tall people. So, but you saying that you have been on a date with somebody where you couldn't wear your heels?
No, my friend.
Oh, she went, but you never met a catfisher, huh?
No. I think I've come across some guys on dating apps where I knew that they were catfishes, but
okay.
You could kind of tell though.
And I thought only women did the catfishing. I never knew men were doing. Now I know that I've heard people say that they lie about their age, but I've heard women say, they look a certain kind of way, and even 10 years younger with hair on their head, and show up with a cul-de-sac and stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's really levels with me before we actually, if we ever do get on
you
a
want
date.
a video, or you want a FaceTime or something
Video,
like that.
FaceTime for sure.
Yeah.
Any other type of background stuff I need to do is really not
Right.
that hard to figure out. But
Because you're like a spy.
yeah, that
Figure
type
out
of
phone
stuff.
codes and everything.
Mhm.
Well, give me an experience that was good and one was bad from one of these dating apps, because I know a lot. They said years ago, I remember when you guys were, before you were teenagers, they were saying that that's where most people were going to be meeting, that 80% of the population meets somebody online. And at that time, I still wasn't buying into it, and I was saying, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. And here I am now. I'm not doing it. So, I mean, that's just my choice. And I may be missing out on something, but I'm willing to take the gamble.
The only good thing I have come across is just having, because you do have good conversations
Friends
with
and
some
conversation.
people.
That's good.
But the bad thing is like when you really do like somebody and they end up not being consistent or like visibly clearly show that they're a catfish.
Right.
Yeah, those are, yeah.
What about a bad one? Like the one that you're just like, why did I waste my time clicking?
Oh, that falls along the line of them not being consistent. Yeah.
So
You
get
talk
rid of
to them, you
after
get to
that,
a certain point, and then they don't reply or they have nothing to talk about, other than just one thing that they might want.
Right.
But I mean,
Well, I think the other thing that turned me off is that I knew so many women that were going out on a date on Tuesday and sleeping with the people on Tuesday night and Wednesday. I don't understand that whole concept right there. So that's why I always thought of dating apps as just to hook up real quick at. Because even I used to go to seminars. I'm not going to say which ones, but I used to go to seminars, and I know that people would be sitting down in the lobby and they would be on their phone, and they would say they were on whatever app, and they would say it would tell them, the app would tell them who else was on the same app that was in the vicinity of where they were, and they could ping them some kind of way to hook up at the bar, and then they would go on up to the hotel rooms and stuff and kind of have like, I guess, a 1 night or 2 night stand, because we'd be there for a whole week. But that's what turned me off about it, is because I don't want to be ever in my entire life that accessible to anybody that I would not be married to, or
yeah, that
engaged to
energy
be
transfer
married to.
stuff is real. You can't be
Exactly.
doing that. I mean, but everybody don't even think that way,
Yeah.
period. So,
Yeah. You ever had any friends that just use the app just for hookups, just because they're young and
oh yeah.
and fresh? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how fresh they are if they're doing that, but I mean, you know, girls that just hook up, or guys.
Yeah, no, girls and guys, and I mean, hasn't gone really well. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to, but that kind of stuff do get played out, especially when you're almost 30.
Yeah. You would think though, but I guess if they're having fun, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, it's gotten out of their system, and I understand exactly what people mean when they say they've gotten it out of their system. Like, we've
You
all
do.
been there where you just do
do.
stuff just to do it. But
do.
I mean, I'm at a point like I can't even be attracted to nobody in that kind of way unless I have some type of mental connection with them. And all my
What do they
friends
call
know
that?
They call it demisexual.
Yeah. I can definitely say I got a lot out of my system by the time I was 25. I'd gotten to go to all the clubs and all the Bayou Classics and all the this and all the concerts and all
Yeah.
of that stuff. It wasn't until maybe a few years ago that I decided I had a couple of more concerts I wanted to get out of my system. I always had on my bucket list I wanted to go to a Lil Boosie concert. And so I got your cousin, and we went to Louisiana, and we went to a concert, and it was everything ghetto that I wanted. I mean, we talking about stepping on tennis shoes and fighting. We talking about there was a shootout. We talking about he didn't come on stage till 2 o'clock and stayed up there and killed it. We didn't even care that he was late. He killed it so hard. And then, you know, we went to that what was it, that Southern Soul rappers concert here in Houston. I wanted to go to that. And then we went to the what was that, Nick Cannon
Wild and Out
Wild
thing.
and Out thing. That was on my list of things to do. I don't have many more as far as like wild concerts where I know it's just gonna be, you know, shenanigan after shenanigan. I don't have any more of those really on my list, but those that were a little bit of residue on my bucket list, I went ahead and got those out of the way because they were on my list and I knew that was what I wanted to do. But as far as dating, where are you now? When I say where are you now, it's like, where are you headed with dating? Are you looking to be dating, or you just want a friend, or are you wanting to be a wife? Oh wow, I don't have a child that's married yet.
No.
And I'm okay with that because I want y'all to have what y'all want. So where are you headed?
I think right now I'm kind of looking, but I'm totally fine with literally focusing on myself, and what comes to me that will be for me will be for me. I definitely believe in that. So I'm not necessarily looking, But like I say on all my bios that you might find on these dating apps, but I'm not necessarily looking. But if I genuinely connect with someone, then I'm willing to see where it goes. But I don't do that force stuff.
You're right.
You can tell when someone's like trying to force. Like I had this one guy reach out to me the other day, and of course he only wanted one thing. And after I turned that down, he had nothing else to talk about. And I'm like, well, goodbye.
So do these? wait. Do these guys just put? Okay, wait a minute. I'm not even slick enough to put. I'm not even slick enough to put it together. Do they just like hit you on the app and say, "What you doing tonight? Let's hook up." Like I'm just trying to figure out how that works because I never had a man approach me like that. I don't even think they would want to approach me like that. But what is that conversation like? And I don't mean word for word because it might be explicit. But
no, not really. So he hit me up on a social media app.
Yeah,
and he was
so
like,
he was in the DMs over there. Okay,
he was like, "Why are you ignoring me or something?" And he was like, "I feel like I did something wrong." I told him about himself. I'm like, I'm sure we had no business messing with each other. I mean, you have a child and a baby mother you're living with, and lying about your whereabouts.
Currently?
And we chill with each other. Not currently.
Oh, okay.
He claims that he's single now, but
Yeah.
People try to spin the block and go through their recycle list when their situation ain't working out, right? So he was like, yeah, I was trying to do that, but now I know you're not on that type of time. Hit me up anytime. And I just thumbed up the message because you have nothing else to talk about. You literally
Right. So in other
made
words,
yourself
let's hook up.
Yeah, you literally made yourself look really dumb because.
Have you ever had one that just kind of hit you on either social media in the DMs or on the dating apps that's just clearly like, let's just get together?
Oh yeah, and I turn it down, and then they'll either not reply.
I didn't know they was that bold, but I guess if you did that 50 times a day with 50 women, one of them is going to say okay.
Well, no, it'd be the ones that asking me are the ones that I used to consistently like mess around with. But then when you elevate and like on your spiritual journey and not doing the stuff you used to do anymore, they get like, oh wow, she's not on that type of time no more. I kind of look stupid trying to hit her up to do this or whatever. But yeah,
it's that recall that they have of she'll be down tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got ones that be like, oh, I'm proud of you. I see you elevating. I see you. Nah, you just trying to see if I'm a fold.
Exactly. That's interesting. I didn't know that was actually happening in real time because, like I said, I've never had the experience. I don't have people. I mean, I'm the person too will hurt your feelings because I had an ex that called me last year. No, COVID was last year. So called me right before that. And was like, hey, what you doing? I want to take you to lunch. And I said, no, that's okay. I don't go to lunch with people that I'm not, seriously involved with. He said, man, I've been knowing you since the 90s. Quit tripping. I'm taking you to lunch. I was like, no, that's okay. He said, well, I'm getting ready to go to Mexico. You want to, I like to travel, right? I'm getting ready to go to Mexico, man. I'm going on a golf tournament thing with some homeboys or whatever. And he's like, would you like to, I can fly you up there and get you your own room and everything. And I said, exactly what kind of, and I said the H word, do you think I am? He said, what do you mean? I didn't call you that. I said, you have a wife. You have 3 children. Why would I go and sit up in a room while you're in Mexico playing in a golf tournament? Why would I go and sit in a room? Like, who do you think I am? Do not call my number anymore. Because I wasn't offended what he said. I was just like, first of all, I've never done that with you. What made you think on a Tuesday it was a good day? Like, what made you think that? Like, no. So I didn't understand the whole concept behind you calling me to ask me to come sit up in a room. You should be looking at how much time you could spend with your wife in a room away from your kids to have a little quiet time. Now, guess what?
Another deal breaker for me are guys that's not true to themselves. Like, if you can, like, it'd be a lot of understanding women out here. If you can just say up front that, hey, I'm dabbling back and forth with my ex from high school for 6 years. I'm, too weak to end it with her. Like, if you can open up and say that, then
just say that.
We can have a better understanding and talk, like, as friends on what you should do about that.
But they feel like they have to use the trickery to get you to do other things that they want you to do, though, because if they, they know we like it to sound good. We want it to be sweet. We want to think you want us and all that. So they try to make it sound sweet, but
10 times out of 10, Angie know people that know people, and I already know your situation.
Right.
I already know your situation before you even start talking about it.
Exactly.
So,
is there one ex that you would ever take back?
Absolutely not.
There is not an ex that I would ever take back, and it's not because I hate them or we don't get along. Because I can tell you right now, every ex that I've ever had, I know where they live, I know who they're married to, who their kids are, I know where their mama live, their daddy live, I know where their sisters and brothers are. So it's not any of that. What it is that I don't go backward. Yeah, even if we ended on great terms and we just moved on, I don't go backward. And so for me, if you lose me, because I've never had a man break up with me. At my age that I am right now, I have never had a man break up with me. Have you?
Must be nice.
No, seriously, I'm not.
I had someone that tried to break up
I'm not
with
even putting a flex out here. I'm saying in my entire life, I have never had a man break up with me. I've always broken up or distanced myself from a man
Only
because
one
I know I give
relationship.
1,000%, but I can't accept less than that from you. So, have you ever had a man break up with you?
I've only had 4 relationships in my entire life so far, and one of the relationships I was in, we got back together like twice, but the first time, I ain't even gonna say what I was about to say, but yeah, he broke up with me the day before my birthday. Who does that? You could have at least waited the day after, like, you
So
could at
the
least
day before
faked it.
your birthday, like whether you had a gift or not, you could have waited to 2 days after
You
my
could have
birthday.
waited. You could have at least, but I mean, when you're dealing with a narcissist,
Did you even say, you know, tomorrow's my birthday?
it's not even that. I already knew that, but narcissist, when you
Oh,
realize
this
that
person
you've
was a narcissist.
dated a narcissist,
Yeah.
when you know that you've dated a gaslighter, an ultimate gaslighter, that I see
And what
right
did that do
through
to
that
you, though,
stuff.
to be broken up on the day before your birthday?
I mean, that's the worst feeling ever, having your birthday ruined, being depressed for 16 days straight, not showering, eating, or nothing.
So your
At
jaws
all.
was looking like the mother dude.
I ain't have none on.
Even worse.
Depressed and naked.
Hey, that's a show right there.
Yes.
That's a show right there. Shoot.
But
For
hallelujah.
all the women that have been broken up with and got depressed and naked, that's a good show right there. Hey, give us a call. We'll produce it.
Shout out
That's
to the single
interesting.
women for sure.
Yeah,
'cause,
I've never been broken up with, so I can honestly say I don't know what that feeling is. I don't know what the hurt of that is. I don't know.
Oh, and then the second time we broke up, it was actually on Father's Day, knowing that I, had lost my dad. So I was like, how much of a narcissist
damage
can you
do? But you
So,
know what's
yeah.
so funny about that is that people do things without thinking. I would have been thinking it through. Okay, it's her birthday. Because people don't just wake up on a Monday and say we're breaking up. It's already something going on anyway.
Father's Day and your birthday, you would think.
Yeah. Because those are two, issues that you've
Yeah.
had.
But narcissists, I mean, they try to do stuff like that so that you can remember them on those special days when y'all still not together, but absolutely not. Whew.
Well, I tell you, one of the dating manners that I am going to stick with and that I believe in is I believe in someone asking me for a date and not just assuming I'm dating them. But I also like for someone to ask me, and this is going to sound so old-fashioned to everyone who hears this come out of my mouth, but if you want to court me, you have to ask to court me. If you want us to be monogamous and us to say we're dating, we need to say that we're dating. Not just, I'm not going to assume because you took me on 7 dates that this is my boyfriend or this is my guy or whatever. But at the age that I am right now, so you have about 3 months to be around me before we decide what we finna do.
That's what I said on Twitter. That was
You
literally my
got
tweet.
3 months, and you got 6 months before we would be engaged.
That's actually in one of my drafts on Twitter. Like, after 3 months of us talking, if you don't even know what you want to, like, how you want to be with me, if you want to be with me, if you don't even know that, please don't waste my time.
No, at my age right now, you got 3 months to decide what we want to do. You got 6
That's
months.
12 weeks.
You have 6 months total of that. With that 3 months include, you have 6 months to put a ring on my finger. And the minute you and I need you to know this, the minute you put a ring on my finger, we can go ahead and go to the courthouse. I already had the big wedding. I already had all the big gifts. The big Princess Diana wedding gown. I already had it. I'm following what spirit tells me to do, and if that's what I'm supposed to do with that person, that's why I don't date for sport, because I'm gonna know that I know you're the one. Mm-hmm. So it won't just be whoever over at Walgreens when I go up in there. It's not gonna be that. No, it's not gonna be that. So I just feel like you need to express what the next levels are through some kind of verbal and some kind of action. Don't just tell me you like me. I need you to show me that I am the one for you, because guys, I noticed that some of girls your age, they say they give them attention and do things for them, but they also do that same attention and buy things and do things for 7 other women. Mm-hmm. I saw a meme the other day on one of the sites I was on, and this girl said, now, just keep in mind, if you're dating a Jamaican and he buying you everything, he taking care of you, he put you in the house, just know he doing that for 7 other women. And I just was like, whoo-wee, I just can't with that. So, any comments on that?
No.
Okay. So we got 2 activities so that we can get to know more about this. So what I was saying is that as far as manners, so you want to make sure that you talking verbal, but then also you're showing actions, but then activities to get to know about, things about one another. One of the activities that I think I love is, not that I think I love, but I know I love, is that if someone says, hey, I want to spend a little time with you or whatever, and this would have to be somebody I liked. Now, this is me going forward. And if they said, how about we meet in Mexico? Or how about we meet in wherever? It don't matter. How about we meet in Houston at the gallery? Whatever. But that they want to meet somewhere centrally where it's just us. We're not worrying about what's going on in our houses. We're not worrying about what our kids are doing. It's just focused time to see if we have a good conversation. What do you think about those activities? Because I literally know people who will date someone and they'll say, well, we haven't been out to eat or to do an activity in 5 years since we started dating. As soon as we moved together, we stopped doing stuff together. Have you experienced that?
No, but I've experienced going on quote unquote dates, and then the other person's like, how do you want to do this? Like, we're splitting everything 50-50. I'm like, we might as well be roommates, just roommates.
Right, and you know what? That's a hot spot for me, that splitting 50-50.
Yeah.
It's something I've never done. Matter of fact, I've never lived with one person but who I was married to, and of course I wasn't responsible for bills or putting gas in my car or anything. I was only responsible for taking care of myself and having a baby and all those things that, again, gender roles are important for me. And I was never responsible for paying a bill or pumping gas in my car or anything that was remotely manual labor. So I don't know anything about that stuff. And going forward, I would never live with a man where I had to pay not one bill. And when I say not one bill, I'm talking about not the water, not the gas, not the lights, and not the mortgage or the cars. That for me, I've never done, so I don't plan on doing it in the future. Now I'll buy groceries because we both gonna eat it, and I'm gonna cook it, and you gonna cook, and all of that. What do you feel about that, splitting the bills in a relationship down the middle? What do you prefer, or what do you think is fair?
I'm generally a fair, open-minded person, but like when you start doing the whole 50-50 down everything, it's more like a roommate situation rather than a an actual couple, whatever. I can see where a guy's paying for the rent and everything, and I'm just doing Wi-Fi, utilities, or groceries. That's something. But like when the guy asks you, don't forget to have your half ready. What?
Yeah,
never again. One time and one and done. Literally, no.
Yeah, I could never. I never. I was telling somebody this not too long ago, and they just laughed at me so hard. They said, "Oh my God, you just." I said, I've even dated people who took my responsibility, and I've had people say, "What bills can I pay for you?" I haven't never had anybody who expected me, even because I've never lived with but one person that I was married to, but dating other people in my 20s, I never had guys that weren't sending me flowers every week, that didn't say, hey, don't worry about your nails and hair, I'm gonna take care of that from now on, or hey, let me know whenever you go to the mall or whatever, I'm taking care of that bill now, you don't have to worry about it. I never had to, being with anyone, I never had to pay a bill or worry about being responsible or anything like that, because I always had guys that were old-fashioned like me who understood that if you have a woman, you have a responsibility. And when you take on a responsibility, you heard the word in there, bill?
Girl.
No. Responsibility has the word bill in it, right? Okay, that's what you take on when you get a woman, a responsibility. So that's just the way it is. Now, when it comes to sex, in my opinion, I say wait no less than 6 months to a year to even start discussing it. I think that up to 6 months, we shouldn't even be, don't even concern yourself unless you done put a ring on this finger and we finna be married or something. But I would even say a year. And let me tell you why I say a year, just because I'm old-fashioned for one. But I say wait a year simply because you get to go through all the 4 seasons with someone and you get to see their real self. People can fake for a good 3 months, right? And then after 3 months, the wrapping starts to come off. And you start to see who the real person is. And I always say this too. If they're not willing to wait, you also have your answer there. That they're there to have another different type of connection. And maybe they'll be there for you. Maybe they won't. But I also like people who follow through on their plans. Here's what Mr. Google has to say about dating. I don't really like what he had to say, but It's okay. It says generally, and I hate that they put us in here. They say generally, American dating culture tends to place an official dating, that's me, I want to put a label on it, especially if you do activities. For example, if you go to dinner or something, they want to make sure that they're what the label is. But it says that we put more of a label on these type of things than people in European cultures. Now, you went to Europe for a little while, but you didn't get to learn that, I'm sure, because y'all were kids. It says if you plan an outing with someone, with an American, you'll be more than likely to state whether it's just casual or if the two of you are dating. That's even if you have dinner. Would you agree with that, or is casual just fine and it's okay not to have the spoken word, but that you just do what you do?
I mean, casual is cool sometimes, but I mean, if we doing consecutive like casual outings, I'm gonna be like, okay. not necessarily what are we, because I know guys hate hearing women say that, but I mean, I would want to have some type of establishment at the beginning. But yeah,
that's interesting. I know. I don't even think about the dating or anything like that, because I'm just focused on what I know I want. So what are you looking for going forward in a guy? Not the relationship part, but just what kind of guy are you looking for? Does he need to be sweet? Does he need to be loud? Does he need to be, he just need to have his stuff together? Or what are you looking for?
I would say someone that's very outspoken and can speak up for themselves, make decisions for themselves. I would want somebody that's very successful and humble.
Stay humble, my friend.
Yeah. Definitely a gentleman.
Yeah. Oh, see, that right there is so important.
And somebody really solid, and that can fall under so many categories. But like I said, as soon as I find somebody as solid as me, that has the same mindset as me with certain stuff, and not just agreeing to what I'm saying because they just trying to get in the door with you.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Well, that was one thing that your grandmother really loved about your dad, is that he was a gentleman. Like when I was 14 and he would come over to the house because he walked me home from school or something, she would always say, you can't have company in the house. He can walk you to the door, but you cannot have company in the house. He never tried to, like, your mom's not here, so I can come sit on the sofa. He never tried that.
Yeah.
Also, when I was finally 16 and he we wanted to go to the movies to see Dirty Dancing, child. If she would have knew it was that movie, it would have been a no real fast. And he asked her, would it be okay if we went to the movies? And he was slick, so he said, and she can bring her sister, which was older than me. So my mom said, okay, well, y'all can go to the movies since you're going to bring the sister, and your auntie. She was such a snitch, I tell you. Couldn't even hold hands, couldn't hug, couldn't do nothing. But anyway, so she thought that he was such a gentleman. But then on my end, I never opened the door. I never pumped gas. I never had to carry a bag. I never had to do anything. And when I got my hair done every Saturday from the age of 14 to 20-something years old, your dad sat right there in that beauty shop and watched me get my hair done. And then watched me get my nails done every weekend.
Must be nice. Like I said, the dating pool in 2021 has pee in it.
The dating pool back then had holy water in it.
Yeah, I don't know what it got now.
Yeah, so I'm saying all of that to say this. The reason that I am the way I am is because I have something to compare to what I am accustomed to.
Right.
I am not accustomed to the shenanigans that are going on in the world today. That's why I say I am in the world, but I'm not of the world. And so I don't have anything but greatness really to compare. And that doesn't matter that, you break up with people, because you break up with people because you break up with them. But I'm talking about the overall experience has been dynamic, because I've met guys who know what taking care of me means.
Yeah, and for me, it's very clear on what I want, because I want the total opposite of literally what I went through. So when people ask me like what I want, what I'm looking for, I know it's clear on what to say, because it's literally the total opposite.
Right, because imagine if you had not gone through that experience, you wouldn't even know what to say you didn't want, and you'd fall into a trap of that and have to learn that experience. And that's one of the reasons why I never really talk to you guys about who you're dating or whatever. I just assume that you're going to make the right decision because you watched what I've done. But what's one thing that you're unapologetic about in personal relationships? For me, I'm unapologetic about walking away.
I think that too, for sure, and speaking up, letting people know what flags I see, because some people really don't understand the type of things they portray or show off, or I know I've had to tell maybe like 5 guys in the last 2 weeks about themselves, and you could tell that nobody else has told them about themselves in that manner.
Yeah.
which is sad, but somebody got to do it.
Yeah. So when you bring that up, is it confrontational? Because me, I never have to bring anything up like that. I'm kind of like my mom. I can give you that look, and you already know you messed up.
They're either offended, dry, or don't reply. But I mean, a lot of guys.
Wait, did we just rhyme?
Girl. But a lot of guys don't
Okay.
like to be, take accountability for,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you date? How do you describe your dating style? Because my style is I'm a wife. That's it. I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not finna come kick it with you. I'm not coming over to babysit your kids. I'm not finna kiss you in the middle of the night while you passing through, going to the next wherever. I'm a wife. So that's my dating style. You approach me, just have a ring in your pocket, and if I'm feeling you, then I'm feeling you. But if I'm not, you need to just walk away. Don't even worry, because if I'm not letting you know, hey, hi, then trust me, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I think if I made that commitment to be in a relationship with you, the end goal, of course, is to be married and be a wife. But yeah, it's really, I mean, right now, I'm not even really interested in dating, to be honest.
What annoyed you? What's the one thing that annoyed you so bad that you're like saying, you know what, I'm going to work on me. I'm going to stay to myself. I'm going to keep myself to myself. And I'm just going to back to when I said in the beginning about hiding yourself. I use that word, and I don't use it lightly because it's so serious to me. Like, I don't show my body. I don't do certain things. You don't see me dancing and gyrating online, and you don't see me going out into public with men. And I hide myself because I want to be single and ready for who I want. I want to be available for who I want. I want to be mentally ready for who I want. I want to be the whole package of who I know I can be. So for me, hiding myself means that I'm just not out there willy-nilly dating anybody that's got a meal to give me, because I've had every meal you could think of. So
yeah, and it's hard. Like, I know for me, I knew at a young age that that I had a lot of sex appeal, so it's hard to I don't know how to say it, but like sometimes guys, it'll be a lot of guys that'll come to you just for one thing, and then you shut it down and they get upset or annoyed. But it's just,
that's kind of annoying, I guess.
it is annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, because you post pictures and you don't mean to be sexy, but you just can't help it. I don't know how to say
Oh boy, back to the I got this. Hey, you know what? If you got confidence, it is what it is, and if it's true, it ain't fake. So hey. What do you think about dating a friend's ex? Because one thing about me, I'll say, is that I've had people to do it to me, and I didn't like it because I felt like that was backstabbing. I not only would not date a friend's ex, but I wouldn't date a friend's cousin's ex. If I know anything that's in that dating pool of anybody that I know, and I will confess that when I talk to people who are interested in me, I want to know who you've been dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if more women would ask those questions, they would be able to confidently make a decision that maybe that's not the person they want, or I don't want to end up with some kind of disease because I know that person had, sitting here listening to this particular case that's going on right now in the courts about these individuals who passed all of these diseases and stuff around to different young girls, and from one source has just been, it's been really heartbreaking, because I'm looking at, wow, these people got something that either they're going to continue to pass around or just something they ain't going to be able to get rid of. What do you think about dating an ex?
I think it's a blessing that I don't have the same type as my friends or associates.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody they've ever dated, they've never been like on my type of time. They've either been too like much of a goofball or a cornball. In the end, of course, once they were done with them, but not even physically. Like I think I'm just too solid. I could never. I don't really even care if you're like, I used to like Chris Brown, so I'm gonna just say Chris Brown. But even if I found out that my best friend is dating Chris Brown, I'm not finna, because I always think about karma getting back to me, for one thing, for sure. But there's never been a friend where I've even had a slight thought about doing something shisty or anything. But it's also good that I don't have the same type, and none of my friends really have the same type as me.
So you've never had a friend that had a type like you?
I mean, like, I have some friends where we'll be on the dating app and she'll be like, wait a minute now, I done came across this dude, I got his number, have you talked to him? It'd be like that, but when you get down to like the personality, I think physically wise we might have the same type, but when it comes down to like personality, morals, stuff, like all that stuff, it's not the same type. They don't want to say that they're shallow, but I'd be looking for more than what they'd be looking for.
Right. So what's one stupid thing you've done in a relationship? I think for me, when it comes to the word stupid, I would just say care about people more than they cared about me. Just
oh yeah, being too
liking people
selfless.
too much,
Yeah, mine was being too selfless and leaving this city for another one.
Yeah.
But it was a great lesson learned.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I'll never do again.
Yeah. Okay, so let's play a discovery game, alike or different. That's what we're going to call it. All right, and these are going to just be quick answers. How do you feel about men and purses and the whole feminine look on a man?
You know, them fanny packs, some of them do be looking
No.
Purses,
Don't even try to
though.
cover it up.
No.
I said purses. What they call merces. A fanny pack is what me and Dwayne The Rock Johnson wear. That's a fanny pack.
No, because you can wear a
I'm
fanny
talking
pack
about a
around your
purse.
waist or a crossbody like
no,
they have
I'm talking
been.
about a purse. They call it a merce.
Whatever. I wouldn't want my man to be wearing that, but you know, they say they be carrying stacks and Glocks in there, so you can't carry it in your pocket. Where else you gonna carry it?
And see, that's what's good about
Now, if he take his lip gloss out,
his lip gloss is popping. No, listen, let me tell you something. If I'm with a man who has a purse for the purpose of a Glock, I know he ain't a hood dude, because hood dudes know how to hide their gun on them. I would never. So this right here is an absolute, that's a no for me. That's a no. What about same-sex relationships? Now, here's another thing. I told you I'd never been broken up with, but in my 40, almost 9 years, I've never been hit on by a lesbian. Never. I've never been hit on. Never been stared down. What do you think about same-sex relationships? Talking about for yourself, not in the world. We're talking about ourselves.
I'm not against it at all.
You're not against it at all. See, there's that difference in age right there. All right. So, single to married or locked down because we're dating or assumed you're dating?
Single to married, because what you put on your applications, you putting single until you're married, right?
No. I'm saying, like, okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, so I meet you, we like each other, we vibe and blah, 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 we kicking it. Ugh. And I say, okay, it's me and you forever, girl. Are you going to ignore every other man in the world because I'm locked down with you? Or am I like, okay, that's cool. I don't have a ring on my finger, so I am still single until we are married. So what do you think? Single to married or locked down because he said, let's be together, girl?
I would say single to married, because even you trying to quote unquote lock me down, you have ulterior motives in my head. You trying to keep me on lock because you don't want nobody else to have me. Been there, done that. So single to married.
And this is how we're going to wrap this up, because guess what? When your dad and I got divorced, I said, if you weren't going to do what was expected and what we had talked about, why would you go through all this trouble of us having this big, huge, elaborate wedding and creating this life together and everything? He said, because I don't want anybody else to have you.
Yep. Sounds all too familiar.
I tell you. So this relationship talk has been absolutely awesome. I've had a lot of fun, learning a lot. Teaching a lot, I'm sure, but it has been very interesting. And again, we just want to keep the conversation going and get mothers to talk to their daughters about relationships, but then also getting daughters to talk to their moms. And I think if we had these type of real interesting conversations with our daughters and daughters with their mothers, that we would stop also a lot of violence. Because what if you're in a violent relationship and you can't tell anybody, but you happen to be able to tell your mom? If something happens, at least there's a reference of something that happened, instead of her. Because, you know, people will be in abusive relationships and they'll just stay away for 3 or 4 weeks until maybe they heal or until something's not wrong or whatever. Because people can kind of tell when something's wrong with you. You may not say anything, but you know. So this has been interesting. What you thought about it?
I thought it was pretty an interesting topic. A lot of moms and daughters do need to have as well.
Yeah, they definitely need to have the conversation. So we want to make sure that you subscribe to the show. Make sure that you definitely hit the notification bell, like she said, because we want you to know when we're putting a show up or when we're going to do some live shows. So you definitely want to listen to us on Wednesdays and Sundays, but you want to see where we're going to be out and about on the town at different hot spots, not just around Houston, but in October, we're going to be in Costa Mesa. Mm-hmm. And from there, we're really trying to check out what's going on with everything in the world right now, because we really want to really put a schedule together to start meeting and greeting some different women and doing some fun things. So our first opportunity out is going to be in October in Costa Mesa. So be looking forward to our meetup posting and to our Eventbrite posting. But that has been exciting, and this conversation has been very interesting, and I learned just way more than what I needed to know, but just very interesting conversation. So, bye for now.
Bye. Do you experience issues or any sleep disorders? What about PMS? Any chronic joint pain relief needed? or migraine relief needed? Well, don't panic, it's organic, baby! Certified Hip Hut is a natural path to good health. Stop by and let us cook you a great meal in-house or to go. Also, please keep in mind, when you visit Certified Hip Hut's location and make an in-house purchase, you will receive a variety of samples to try out. Everyone loves samples, I know I do. Come check us out at our location. We're at 3422 Farm to Market 2920, and that's in Spring, Texas 77388.
Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You're wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that? Wanting to book us for your show? It could be an expo. It could be any type of women's event. Contact Miller Booking Agency at mail.com. We're looking forward to meeting and greeting with you. Are you looking to connect with us, the Mother-Daughter-ish Show? Guess what? We're going to be in a city near you. Our first stop is in October. We are on Eventbrite under Wonderful Women Unite. Check out Eventbrite to connect with us in Costa Mesa, California, October 21st through October 25th. Look on Eventbrite and connect with us. Hey, we're looking forward to seeing you.
Join the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast on October the 23rd, that's a Saturday, in Costa Mesa, California. We're going to be talking to women just like you about how to start your podcast, how to earn major money with your podcast, and seeking sponsors. We'll show you how to get it set up. We'll talk about everything that it takes to start podcasting. We are looking to meet with women, all ages, all levels, all women. Bring your moms bring your daughters, women in business. Meet us in Costa Mesa, California on Saturday, October the 23rd, and ask any question you've ever had about how to podcast, how to earn a living at it, and how to take that business into 12 other areas to earn you money. Hey, we're looking forward to meeting you. Come out and see us October 23rd in Costa Mesa. Tickets right on Eventbrite. See you soon.
Wanting to book us for your show? It could be an expo. It could be any type of women's event. Contact Miller Booking Agency at mail.com. We're looking forward to meeting and greeting with you.